After initially putting a pause on contract negotiations, Seahawks fans get some great news in regards to Ernest Jones and his future in Seattle. We'll explain more coming up in just a matter of moments here on this edition of Seattle Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. Before we go any further in today's show, though, I got a challenge for the 12s today. We are certainly ramping things up here on the channel for the offseason as we bring you multiple videos a day, in addition to our live shows twice a week, Q&A mailbags, breaking news, and I want to make sure you're a part of it. And let's set a record today. Can we get more subs off today's video than any video we've had so far in the month of January? The most subs we've picked up on a single video this month is 31. I want to get at least 50 off of today's show. For the latest happenings on your Seattle Seahawks all offseason long, subscribe now for free, youtube.com/Seahawks TV. What was it that Leonardo DiCaprio said in Wolf of Wall Street? I'm not leaving. Well, Ernest Jones IV has said the same thing. I'm not leaving. As this week, he reaffirmed his commitment to the Seahawks despite entering free agency this offseason with his contract up and no deal done for an extension before the end of the year. Jones said this week. We're going to get it done. I'm going to be a Seahawk. I firmly believe that. I definitely think that we get it done. It's the process of it, the prices of it. I'm just playing the process out. We just got to get there. That's it. That's all it is. And then ESPN's Brady Henderson provided this update saying Jones definitely feels he will be re-signed before the free agency period begins in March. And that's very important because if Seattle, let's say, gets this deal done before free agency even opens in March, then you're not letting him go to the other market and teams outbid you or potentially drive up the price, like what happened to Leonard Williams last offseason, where he did hit the open market and his price went up compared to what it would have been had they got a deal done earlier. So that's a good sign for Seattle that not only is Ernest Jones going to stay in Seattle, but we likely won't see a bidding war to keep him in Seattle. This is big for the Seahawks to not only keep Ernest Jones, but also not to let him get to the marketplace and have to compete with other teams for his services. Now, obviously, the pen to paper still needs to happen. You can say all you want until that pen hits the dotted line, but at least they're saying all the right things. Remember, we heard Ryan Grubb at one point say that he was the offensive coordinator at Alabama and he was not leaving, and then within a couple days later, he was the OC of the Seattle Seahawks last offseason. So you could say a lot of things. It all sounds nice, but you obviously need the pen to hit the dotted line. Our contract projection for Ernest Jones, with him being so young, just in his mid-20s, there's no reason why I don't think you would give him a long-term deal. I'm looking at about 4 years, $38 million, which I think would be very good for Seattle to have a young linebacker just now starting to enter his prime as one of your core pieces of your defense for many years to come. I think it makes a ton of sense for this Seattle team. Do you believe that Ernest Jones is being honest with the folks? Do you think he's re-signing with Seattle? If so, type Y for yes. If not, type in for no. Weigh in our pinned comment today. Let us know what you think. Today's show is sponsored by GameTime. GameTime is the place to go for the best seats, the lowest prices guaranteed. Whether you're looking for tickets to sporting events, concerts, theater productions, comedy shows, and more, GameTime's got you covered, including tickets to see the Seattle Kraken, one of my favorite teams in the Seattle area. I love what they've already done to establish their identity there at Climate Pledge Arena. And if you want to see the Kraken, here's all you got to do. Just as an example, the Kraken or any other team for that matter, you choose the event you want to go to. They got the prices listed. You choose your seat, see if you like that seat or not. And then just like that, you're checking out with Apple Pay, Google Pay, Venmo, all major credit card providers. It's fast, simple, and easy. And personally, folks, I have saved a lot of money on GameTime when I have decided to get tickets at the very last minute, because get this, the prices go down the closer it gets to when the event starts. So if you're on the fence about whether or not you want to go to an event, maybe wait to the last minute and see what that final price drop is going to be when it's all said and done. GameTime has a new feature called GameTime Picks that makes getting tickets for events even easier. GameTime Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals and great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets to find the best value. They have their super deals. If you see a super deal, that's a deal you do not want to pass up on. They also have their customize your spot feature, which finds the seat for you that you're looking for. Download the GameTime app, create an account, use code ChatSports, $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download GameTime today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. Personally speaking, I think Jones is too valuable and too important for this defense to lose. When you made that trade for him prior to the trade deadline, I think you had to accept the consequences that whatever his price tag was going to end up being, that you had to pay him. You made a commitment to him the moment you made that trade for him, that there was no going back at that point in time, that he was going to be your guy. And based on the way he's played this season in the second half of 2024 when he joined this Seahawks team, there's no reason why you wouldn't want to bring him back. The former third-round pick out of South Carolina, previously with the Rams and the Titans, won a Super Bowl with the LA Rams, has been just a natural fit. He has been a Mike Macdonald player. And you think about Mike Macdonald, too. He's put such a big emphasis on getting this linebacker room right. He was all in on Dodson and Baker, and we looked at the PFF numbers of those guys, and that's kind of what Mike Macdonald was looking at. All right, we're going to get some good coverage linebackers here and all that. And that didn't really work out with those two. With Dodson in particular, it was a lot of missed assignments, not doing what he was supposed to. Compared to Ernest Jones, and you look at the statistics of what he's done, they don't tell the full story. Yes, he had a lot of tackles, but he was where he was supposed to be. And he was a leader on this defense and doing exactly what the coaches asked and then some. And I think when we look back on this trade, we're going to say to ourselves that this was a steal. You gave up Jerome Baker, who was going to be a free agent, that you likely weren't going to bring back anyway, who was dealing with a number of injury issues. And all you gave up was a fourth-round pick. I thought it was a home run by John Schneider and Mike Macdonald to get this deal done, to bring a player of his caliber in. Mike Macdonald said this recently on Ernest Jones IV. We love him. We love him. He's a great player. There's a poise to how he operates, which I respect. I think Jones loves football. Those are the guys that do really well here. He would do great in a lot of organizations, probably every organization. I think he's a great fit here. We love him. I think he loves it here too. It's been great so far. So I think he loves him. Said it about 3 times. Well, I love the guy too. And for me, the comparison I make is that he is this year's big cat, Leonard Williams. Last year, when the Seahawks made the trade for Leonard Williams, we knew that it was not going to be cheap to bring back Leonard Williams. But with what you gave up for him at the trade deadline, with how well he played and changed up that defense, there was no way you couldn't go back from Leonard Williams. And I think the same can be said here with Ernest Jones, that he has been that difference maker. You committed to him in that trade. Now you got to pay him the money to keep him there. I thought it was an A-plus trade by John Schneider. I would say that it was the best move that John Schneider made the entire season. And I know there's some doubters about John Schneider, and he has been far from perfect, and he's made a lot of mistakes, specifically the offensive line. But this move to course correct the mistakes they made at the linebacker spot with Dodson and Baker, to go ahead and bring in Ernest Jones here, it saved the season. And Seattle almost made the playoffs, I think, in large part due to this edition of Ernest Jones, and I'm excited to see what he's going to do going forward. Looking back, how would you grade that trade for Ernest Jones? Hindsight being 2020. Weigh in, let us know. A, B, C, D, or F. Chime in that comment section. Let us know what you think. For the best Seahawks coverage you won't find anywhere else, subscribe now to Seattle Seahawks Today. We got you covered for the entire offseason right here on the channel. YouTube.com/SeahawksTV. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.